Civilizations are born, flourish, and die based on their belief systems. But people today are learning to be more human than they ever were before. As societies continue to progress, the idea of religion, spirituality, and the concept of God seems to be diminishing, while the significance of morality and scientific thinking is rising. As societies develop from farming to industrial and from industrial to knowledge-based, the importance of religion in people's lives is shrinking, and they are becoming less submissive to traditional religious leaders and institutions. Some nations, which were once staunchly religious, are now turning irreligious, also popularly referred to as atheism. Research conducted by Pew Research Center on the Future of World Religions suggests that by 2050, although the non-religious population is increasing in countries such as the United States and France, they will make up a declining share of the world's total population, as religions such as Islam will grow faster than any other major world religion. Surprisingly, there are some findings that suggest that industrialization and the spread of scientific knowledge were not causing religions to disappear, as many scholars assumed. Studies suggest that religion and spirituality can promote mental health through positive religious coping. Religion gives people something to believe in, provides a sense of structure, and typically offers a group of people to connect with over similar beliefs. Religiosity also reduces suicide rates, alcoholism, and drug use. Having said that, religion and spirituality can also be damaging to mental health through bad religious coping and negative beliefs. With the rise of logical and rational thinking, it is easier for people to drop irrationality and override their unscientific belief system while keeping moral responsibilities intact. Although disinformation and fake news is spreading faster than ever, identifying pseudoscience in society is easier now. By the way, pseudoscience is a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. The more mankind desires to explore the unknown, the more it leads towards unlearning what was taught about the concept of God and religion. With the attitude that involves the application of logic, the people are not just challenging the dogma, but also courageous enough to hit the very core ideology of religion, that is, the God. The question that mostly arises is it the God who created us, or is it the other way around? There are questions that haunt most rational and free thinkers. Is the concept of God the biggest hoax? Is it created and propagated by some clever, manipulative people? Or is it just born out of human fear and insecurities? As human civilization advanced, the sense of social insecurity and fear grew along with it. And in the absence of no logical and scientific understanding, exploiting human emotions was easy. There could be a possibility that some wicked minds exploited human sentiments by first establishing an imaginary and supernatural God figure and then setting rules and commandments based on their own needs and desires. Or probably our ancestors were visionaries who were wise enough to introduce the fear of God to provide spiritual comfort and security, which helped people avoid antisocial activities and promote peaceful living. This can foster an environment of collective social and moral responsibility. Atheists argue that because everything in the universe can be explained in a satisfactory way without using God as part of the explanation, then there is no point in saying that God exists. Another belief which is strong amongst religious believers is the idea of heaven and hell, a sweet spot for good and bad people. When you do good, God rewards you in heaven, and similarly, for doing bad things, God punishes you in hell. This brings us to a thoughtful question. What makes a person good or bad? Who will decide who is right and who is wrong? The idea is that there is nothing truly right or wrong, and whatever we perceive as right or wrong are just determined by our society. However, everything has consequences. You are free to choose and control your actions, but not the consequences. Slowly and steadily, societies are now getting progressive, which is free of superstitions and irrational practices. Nations are developing in political, economic, and social dimensions. Whatever the belief is, with or without God, it is we humans who bear the core responsibility of promoting tolerance and freedom of speech among people for differing thoughts, and that is the idea that makes any human a human.